She's a lady, she's clam dropping you. If I didn't trust you, I wouldn't be back here.
All right, so check this out. Challenger, Pursuit. Today, we're gonna do something a little different. I have a backpack. Today, we're gonna ride these two bikes, and we're gonna get my backpack's thoughts and opinions on Challenger and the Pursuit. How does it feel to be a backpack on these bikes? Are they comfortable? Which one do you prefer? Which one's better for the long haul? We're gonna find out today. All right, so here we are, 2024 Indian Challenger yet again, but this time we're doing it a little bit differently. I got my backpack. Say hello, backpack.
Oh, hello, I'm backpacking.
Yeah, so I got my wife here with me. I was talking to Das, and he said that some people had some questions about what this bike feels like with a backpack, with someone back there. What's the comfort creatures, or the creature comforts like for the passenger? So that's what we're doing. Gonna go through this little slow speed section right here just like normal, and really we're just gonna be having a little conversation about what it feels like for the backpack. Just a little background. So my wife and I have been riding together for about 4 years now, and yeah, she's been a backpack for the grand majority of it. She rides by herself, but whenever we get the chance, we definitely go through and we ride together.
So I can touch him.
I mean, yeah. What kind of bikes have we ridden? How do you feel about being a backpack in general versus like riding yourself?
Being a backpack is fun for when I want to be on a motorcycle, but I don't want to ride the motorcycle myself. But riding the motorcycle myself is more when I kind of just want to be free and have fun on my own on the motor scooter, you know?
So do you prefer one over the other?
No. I like being the backpack just because, you know, I like to be close to you and stuff, and it's cute for dates and stuff.
Yeah.
But I like being on my own on the motorcycle too, because it's fun. It's a weird sense of freedom, and it gives me this awesome peace and quiet in my brain because I have to focus on everything besides my thoughts.
So what bikes have we ridden where you've been the backpack? Where have you been a backpack? Kind of where's the comparison coming from?
The Honda Magna, the 95 Honda Magna, which pretty similar to this one because it's also a cruiser, but even though this is not a cruiser, this is a cruiser, yes?
Yeah, it's a cruiser. Technically it's a bagger in terms of category, but yes, it is a cruiser.
Okay, well, yeah, the Magna is pretty similar to this one in comfort of the tuchus area. And then also on the VFR and the Ninja and the R1. I've been a backpack on the sport bikes and on the sport touring bike and on the cruiser. And to be honest, I prefer to be on the back of a cruiser or a bagger like this, but sport bikes are fun for when you got the zoomies.
They definitely are. Definitely are. So we just left a little neighborhood. Here we go. Yeah, this bike moves, man.
All right.
All right, so how do you feel so far? Like, what does it feel like? What does it feel like sitting down? Is there anything that you feel in the pegs, the seating position? Like, what do you feel compared to the other bikes that you've backpacked on?
The pegs, they feel the same. I know Dawes said he can adjust them, but they're not the flat board ones.
Yeah, the floorboards.
So since they're still that little tube peg, it's the same as the other ones, except I'm sitting. Like, I'm very squat position right now, if that makes sense.
Yeah, and what about the seat? How does the comfort feel just initially sitting on it? Obviously, this is a lot bigger bike than the Magna. The Magna has the benefit of, for all of you guys, it's an old bike, and older bikes have a lot more cushion than newer bikes usually.
Yeah.
Obviously, for baggers, it's different.
Yeah, well, actually, the Magna backseat is actually a lot more cushy. But in, you know, this bagger's defense, the Magna is 30 years old. So she's you know, she's got a bit of wear and tear to her.
How do you feel about sliding around? So we just got off the VFR. We rode the VFR together, and that bike, even though the seat's not particularly uncomfortable, we slide, both of us. Like, I slide forward, I slide backwards on the seat, and when I'm by myself, it's not a big deal. But when I'm riding on the VFR and I hit the brakes, I have to like double brace because, you know, we both slide. So I have to stop both of us because she's sliding into me and I have to stop because she doesn't really have anything to brace off of. How do you feel on this?
My cheeks are stuck to the seat.
Like, you're not moving?
No.
Interesting. Here, let me see if I can move you real quick. Once we get past this car. Actually, here, we can get past this car. So I'm gonna gun it. Let me know if you're moving around. Yeah, you're not sliding.
I'm not sliding. Am I moving? Yes, but it's not the same as the VFR when I'm actually sliding.
Interesting. So, I mean, yeah, you're getting pushed back because of the acceleration. This bike is quick for a cruiser. Like, this bike is fast. Also,
Yeah.
how does it feel to you back there to be on this big of a bike that can move that quickly?
Fascinating, because I remember us doing that group ride with the Magna,
Yeah,
and we were struggling to keep up.
yeah.
Not, you know, not struggling, but we clearly weren't part of that group.
Yeah.
So it's actually really interesting, because I feel like if we were part of that group with this one, like, we would have just still been up there with all the sport bikes.
Yeah, honestly, the Magna will struggle to go triple digits. Like, this bike will go triple digits, 100%. Like, it goes faster than what it's limited to, especially when you get tunes. I've been doing some research on them. Honestly, I want one, DOS. If you cut me a deal, man, we may be having conversations. You won't hear this until later, though. Other than that, how does it feel? How does the wind feel? How does everything else feel? Obviously, you know, we've been on smaller bikes with fairings. My Magna has a huge, like, police fairing, so it's a tall one that goes, you know, probably about taller than this.
Yeah.
But how do you feel back there with the wind and the back-to-back?
It's only hitting me in the chest. Like, it's nothing too crazy. I mean, I guess if the fairing was down, yeah, that
Here,
little
I'll do
windscreen, if it was down, I might feel more.
All the way down, just like that. Automatic windscreen, by the way.
Oh yeah, I definitely feel more now than when
Yeah.
it was up.
Now, is it all right? So, do you feel the wind, or is it like moving you to where you have to brace yourself in a certain way, or is it just wind passing?
It's wind passing. It's not like moving me. Like, I'm not bracing myself because of the fact I'm not bracing because the wind is pushing me. I'm bracing because you're accelerating.
Yeah, that makes sense. And how does it feel like in the turns, obviously? So on sport bikes, you're like close to me, so you have to hug my body. On this bike, you're a little bit further away, right? But how does it feel in these turns going back and forth? Like, I don't know. I can feel the difference handling because I'm controlling it, but I don't know if you feel a handling difference from the back seat.
I do, but not to the extent that you would. It's more of it feels smoother. Like, normally when I'm a backpack and you're turning, I can feel, I don't know if it's like kind of like a hesitation, but like, obviously I have to lean with you, right?
Yeah.
But for this one, my body's just doing it, and it doesn't feel like you're struggling to turn the bike because I'm on it. Kind
Yeah.
of like the VFR when we're going slow.
Yeah.
It kind of feels like you're
Holding you a little bit, honestly.
yeah.
From my perspective, like on the front of this bike versus you on the back, compared to other types of motorcycles, when it comes to like a cruiser, I'm sitting and you're sitting. Your weight, your position does not affect me on this bike.
Probably because I'm right on top of the wheel.
Well, not even that. Like, you're actually disconnected from me too. On other bikes, even the Magna, I still feel your weight on me. Like, we're very close together, so I still feel like your thighs on my hips, and I still kind of like feel your weight on the bike, which is very interesting, because on those bikes, when we go like stuff like this, where I'm taking off and we're going 10-15 miles an hour,
Yeah.
the bike handles differently with you on it than with you not on the bike, and it's a very clear distinction. On this bike, you on it and you not on it, the bike handles the same. I don't have to delay my lean. It feels identical in the bars, you back there and you not back there, which is actually pretty interesting. I can't tell the difference that you're back there. I can feel you holding me, but outside of that, really, I can't tell you're back there. Pop the windscreen up.
Thank you, that's better.
But seriously, like, all of this feels the same as it did when you weren't there, which is actually pretty cool.
Honestly, back here,
Yeah.
I'm holding on because of the fact that there's a no sissy bar.
Yeah.
And on the VFR, there's handles, which is the one thing that I like about being a backpack on the VFR. The handles for stopping. But on this one, no, I'm not really being like propelled at you to crash my head into your body, you know, like it happens every once in a while. And like, as you're accelerating, I'm holding on because of the fact that you're like accelerating. But other than that,
I'm small, I fit. At this red light, we're gonna take off. You let me know.
okay.
I love this bike, man. This Challenger, this 108 motor, man, this thing moves. You're about to feel it too.
I know, I gotta hold on though.
Yep, here we go. Not full throttle and pin. And heavy on the brakes. Oh man, how did that feel? This thing is impressive, isn't it? That's a lot faster than you expect.
Yeah, I mean, you leaned on me, we connected.
There you go. That pretty much covers the initial thoughts on this. We're gonna go ahead and finish our ride. We will be back very shortly to actually compare the Challenger to the Pursuit, because the Pursuit has a tour pack. So we're going to compare what does it feel like for a backpack on either bike. If you have a backpack, which bike should you go for, and you know, which bike does my backpack prefer, because these are questions that I need to know the answer to for the future. Remember, Das, hook a brother up. So back over here hanging on the Challenger, and from the rider's perspective, it is very different. Honestly, I think that the Pursuit is a little bit more comfortable for the long haul. 100%. I feel her weight significantly less on the Pursuit versus the Challenger. So having that backrest on there, having the tour pack on there, does alleviate a little bit of my weight and my maneuverability. It makes it a little easier to maneuver when you have that tour pack.
Yeah, as a backpack, you also have to do a little bit more work and holding on and making sure you're with your rider, versus when you're on the Pursuit, you can literally just sit on it like a couch and relax for the whole ride.
All right, so here we are, 2024 Indian Pursuit. So Challenger with a tour pack, extra storage down there, taking it through the slow speed stuff. Again, we are just talking about how it feels for a backpack and having a backpack on here. So from a rider's perspective, the Pursuit, I 100% cannot tell that my backpack's back there. Like literally, she's not making contact with me anywhere. It's just literally me. I'm upright, I'm there, there's no points of contact. How do you feel back there?
First of all, there are points of contact. They're just not points of squeeze, because I'm touching you right here.
Yeah.
On your hips. I genuinely feel like there is a couch placed on a motorcycle and you're just going, and I'm just sitting back here, just chilling. Literally, I have my arms up. Like exactly how you'd sit on a recliner is how I'm sitting on here, minus my legs up.
Interesting. What's the big difference that you notice from getting off of the Challenger and getting on the Pursuit, having that tour pack behind you?
Well, strangely enough, getting onto the Challenger probably isn't a big thing, but I ended up kicking the bag.
Yeah.
And on this one, it felt a lot more backseat friendly. Like I got on and it literally was just like me stepping onto the seat and just sitting down. With the other one, it was just like getting onto the back of a motorcycle like regular, which apparently a lot of people haven't been backpacks before. So typically when you get onto the back of a motorcycle, you stand on the backpack and you throw your leg over and you're sitting pretty much right next to the person in front of you's back. For this Pursuit, I'm sitting essentially like on the back of the motorcycle, so it was it's interesting.
Yeah, when you get on the bike, since you're a little bit higher up in the backpack gives you a little teabag action.
Oh yeah. or if she's a lady, she's clam dropping you.
Is that what it's called? Interesting. I didn't know that. That's funny. I can just get on it. I don't have to worry about you holding on. Like I can just take off.
The fact that you can get on it and I don't have to worry about holding on.
Yeah, that's true.
I went back. I did. But there's a whole seat behind me supporting my back. So I'm just like, it's like sitting in a car with a convertible.
To be honest, you sitting back there feels like we're sitting on two different spaces. All the other bikes, we felt like we're sitting at the same space, close together, like we're sharing a seat. This actually feels like you're in your own seat.
Straight up. That is a great way to describe it, honestly. Because I really am, like, on my own seat back here. Like, you just took off and I didn't even feel like I needed to hold on. I was like, oh, the motorcycle's holding me, I'm fine.
How does it feel with the windscreen up? This windscreen is taller, too.
In the Challenger, I felt all of the wind in my chest. Right now, I don't feel any in my chest at all. I only feel it on my arms, and that's because they're sitting on these little handles that this little couch has.
I'm gonna put the windscreen down because it has this big sticker that I can't see over, but
this is definitely a go down to Daytona one.
For real, honestly, man, like I get it. I get it. The tour pack makes a huge difference. How do the floorboards feel? Like your feet on floorboards instead of pegs?
Oh, it's so comfortable. That also contributes to the comfort of back here.
Yeah.
Because when you're like, when the pegs are those little like peg, your feet are holding on to it, right? So like your toes are trying to latch on, or if you're not wearing heeled boots like I am, it doesn't just sit in the arch. So let's say, for example, if I was wearing Converse, which are flat-footed, my foot would have been slipping on the peg. But on this one, since it's literally just a whole floorboard, I can just put my foot right on it, and I don't have to worry about where my foot's positioned, where it's going. It's not sliding forward, it's not sliding anywhere, it's literally just sitting there.
I mean, I think this goes without saying, but I'm gonna ask anyways, like, do you feel more comfortable and confident back there?
I feel more comfortable. I always feel confident on the back of the motorcycle with you, baby. I trust you with my whole life. That's why I'm back here. If I didn't trust you, I wouldn't be back here.
There you go. So from back there, how fast do you think we're going right now?
50?
We're going 60, almost 65.
Ah, that was close enough.
Yeah,
it's the level
cruising.
of wind hitting me in the arms that gave it away.
Honestly, we're just cruising, man.
Yeah, I like this. On other motorcycles, when you're turning, I have to go with you, right? My body and my hips have to go where you're going. But for this one, since I'm sitting where I am, you're turning and I'm not doing anything. I'm literally just sitting back here. Like, I'm not leaning with you, I'm not leaning against you, I'm just sitting here on the motorcycle as it's going.
You know, one thing that I will say, and exactly what you said probably has to do with what I'm feeling. On the other motorcycles, since you're going with me, we're moving at the same time. On this bike, it's not bad and it doesn't cause discomfort in any way, shape, or form, but I feel a slight delay from the front end to the back end in the actual bars. Like, I start turning and I feel like the front starts to move and it takes a second for the back to also start to move.
Interesting. I'm still moving my hips with the motorcycle, but I'm not like leaning hard like I would normally.
Gotcha.
Which, if you need me to.
No. It feels perfectly fine. It's just something that I'm noticing that kind of goes in line with what you're saying. All right, so is impressive, man.
Oh, a floorboard thing?
Yeah.
They vibrate intensely.
Interesting. They do?
Yes.
I'm sure that's like these floorboards specifically, because you can change it. Because I think the front ones, if I'm not mistaken, you have the board itself and then like a rubber cushion before the actual top part. I don't know if the back ones have that same thing, but interesting.
I don't know, but I know for a fact that these are like, they vibrate for sure.
All right, any last and final thoughts on being a backpack on the big bikes? What's your final thoughts?
If you want to be a backpack and you just don't want to actually hold on like you're on a sport bike or a cruiser with no sissy bar, this is the backpack bike for sure. You know, for those people who like to just sit in the back and be on their phone and capture videos of what's occurring, this is for you. This is definitely for you.
Which one do you prefer?
Me personally?
Yeah.
I like to be on a sport bike so I can be nice and close to you, baby.
I'm talking about out of these two bikes.
Oh. This one? But this one mostly because I'm that person who likes to capture videos of stuff. That's why I said it's a Daytona bike.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Like, especially when we're going down like by the beach and stuff. Like, yeah. Oh yeah, we can definitely take this.
So being on this one, the Pursuit, 100% is the pick for the long hauls, for the long rides.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, it's the couch for me.
It goes without saying.
You just lean back. That's it. The whole ride.
Yeah, you don't have to put any like stability into it. Honestly, when I was on this bike, the detachment from rider and passenger is incredible. It really does feel like that, like rider and passenger. It does not feel like two people are on the same bike. It feels like there's a complete detachment. Like, what she's doing, what I'm doing are two different things. They don't affect each other. I don't have to ride any differently on this bike because it's literally like she's not there.
On this one, you can jam out on the back of the motorcycle to an extent, of course, versus when you're on the back of another motorcycle, you kind of just have to, as you listen to music. But on this one, like, you could like a little bit and it doesn't really do anything.
You got freedom of motion. Thank you once again, Whole Shot Power Sports, for giving me this opportunity. thank you for my wonderful backpack for coming along on this one and actually joining in and giving her thoughts and opinions on it. If you guys want to see more Indian reviews, check out this video right here. Subscribe.